right, what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick Strength and Power. I've got a couple of interesting stories for you guys today. There's quite a bit of news going on in the fitness industry right now, and we're going to get to all of it here in this video. Now, before we get to all those stories, I wanted to start out this video kind of paying tribute to Scott Milne, who is an IFBB pro bodybuilder from Canada, who just passed away recently at the age of 46 years old. The cause of death, as confirmed by his wife, was a heart attack. He turned pro in the IFBB back in 2002. He never won a pro show, and due to a bunch of injuries during his career, he ended up focusing more on training other people than competing as a pro bodybuilder. But this video that you're watching right now is Scott Milne at 287 pounds. So this guy was a massive bodybuilder, and while being massive, he was a pretty lean guy. He was pretty shredded at 287 pounds, as you can see in this video here. So it's always sad and unfortunate when we lose someone from the bodybuilding community. So I wanted to start out this video sending my thoughts, prayers, and condolences to the friends and family of IFBB pro Scott Milne. All right, so let's dive into the actual bodybuilding news here. We've got a couple different stories for you guys today. We've got some big Arnold Classic updates. And, of course, we have a little situation with Kenny KO and Calum Von Moger. We'll get to that towards the very end of this video because I have some thoughts on that situation. But let's start out with the Arnold Classic update. So the first Arnold Classic update that I have for you guys today is yet again Big Ramy Training Back. Big Ramy posted a full series of videos on his Instagram story training back in preparation for the Arnold Classic, which he is 5 weeks out from right now. I also got confirmation that the recent photo that was posted of Big Ramy on the Dragon Pharma Instagram page was in fact from September. So that was not a 5 weeks out update as I suspected. So the Big Ramy that you're seeing in these stories, though, this is Big Ramy 5 weeks out training back. Now, like I've said before, I think it's cool that Big Ramy is doing this, and I kind of want to commend him for doing this here because I think it's actually good for the fans. A lot of bodybuilders, like I always say, they like to cover up. They don't like to post, frequent updates on social media going into those shows. They want to be mysterious and then just kind of show up. But I think Big Ramy and his supplement sponsor are doing a very good job of really putting him out there and documenting his prep and letting the fans kind of behind the scenes to the preparation that Big Ramy is putting in for the 2020 Arnold Classic. And I think that's a good thing. I think it's something the fans want to see. I think it's something the fans that need to see. And it's something that Big Ramy doesn't have to do. And I think the fans really enjoy the fact that he does it. And like I say, when I talk about Patrick Moore, that's one of the things that I like about Patrick so much is the fact that Patrick posts all these updates for the fans. I think it's really good to be interactive to that extent with the fans of the sport and the fans of these guys specifically. And actually, I won't post a story about Patrick or Athleticon in this particular video because I know it's becoming kind of a meme because I cover it so frequently. But I will still include Big Ramy in this video. So, Big Ramy's biggest competition in 5 weeks at the Arnold Classic is likely going to be William Bonac, who is a returning champion. He won in 2018, runner-up at the Olympia, probably the favorite to be the winner for the 2020 Arnold Classic. William Bonac's most recent physique update is just this simple photo that you're looking at right here. Just a photo of his biceps. So you don't really get that great of an idea of how William Bonac is looking, but I just want to keep you guys updated. That is the most recent version of William Bonac that we're seeing so far, and that video that you just watched prior was the most recent version of Big Ramy that you're seeing so far. And we'll continue to follow these two as we get closer to the Arnold Classic because I think they're the two biggest names and the two most speculated about going into the Arnold. Now, next up in Arnold Classic news, another thing I wanted to talk about here was Sergio Jr. Sergio has posted a couple pictures lately where, like I said in the last video, he's looking to be really, really good. He looks a lot bigger than I remember him being. And he looks a lot better than I remember him being. Now, Sergio actually posted more than just these pictures. He actually followed in the footsteps of Phil Heath and posted a weigh-in video weighing himself on the scale at 279 pounds at 5 weeks out from the Arnold Classic, which is huge. If you guys remember the Phil Heath weigh-in video, Phil weighed in at, 267 or whatever it was, and Phil is a 7-time Mr. Olympia, not prepping for a show in the heart of his offseason. So one of the things I was worried about Sergio, not to say he's not a big bodybuilder, but the fact that he just wasn't as seasoned as some of these bodybuilders. He's been a pro for a few years, but he hasn't really done as many shows as some of these guys have, and he hasn't really, solidified himself in terms of overall consistency. And that's not a knock on him or a criticism. I just think there's a certain advantage and a certain stage presence some of these guys get the more shows that they do. But Sergio says in the caption of this weigh-in video, he's either going to be his all-time best or his all-time worst. And I'm hoping we're going to see his all-time best, and I think we are based on some of the pictures that we've seen so far. But Sergio, 279, almost 280 pounds at 5 weeks out. Massive. And it's going to be very impressive to see how he wears that weight on stage. So shout out to Sergio. Another physique update that I have for you guys today in the news. Andrew Jacked, the friend and training partner of Larry Wheels, Brian Andrew. He's posted a recent physique update. He's getting ready for this show in Ohio. If I'm not mistaken, he's competing in Classic Physique. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure I heard he was competing in Classic Physique. He's never competed before, ever, in anything amateur, not even like a rookie, novice, natural show, nothing. This will be the first time he's ever stepped on a bodybuilding stage, and he's looking to turn pro. And Ohio is the first step to doing that. So he posted this physique update. The guy has a great upper body, and I said this in my last video about Andrew Jacked, and a lot of people send me, pictures and videos of Andrew wanting me to talk about him or give my opinion of his physique. I think he's got a great physique. I think he's got great muscle bellies. He's really round. He's really full. He's really vascular and good condition for someone who hasn't competed recently or competed ever. I think he's in really good shape, and he's got a really good structure to his physique. But the one criticism that I have, because I got to find something, is he doesn't really show his legs. I know he squats heavy. I know he deadlifts heavy, but we haven't really seen too many update pictures or videos of his legs. You see a lot of the same stuff, a lot of these upper body shots. I haven't seen any abs and thigh shots from Andrew Jacked. So a lot of the people that message me about him are like, bro, this guy is going to turn pro instantly. He's going to dominate the pro scene, and he hasn't even competed as an amateur yet. And I think people should hold off on those quick judgments until you see this guy's legs and see how he actually looks on stage from a proportion standpoint and see how complete his physique really is. But I'm down to see it, man. I mean, I'm looking forward to it. So best of luck to Andrew Jacked in his future competition in Ohio. Now, next up in the news, it's a Kai Greene dance party following the Super Bowl. Now, obviously, I'm not reporting on this video because I care about the dancing itself, but I care about Kai's physique and how Kai is currently looking and whether or not he looks like he's going to compete anytime soon, because that is always the question with Kai Greene. Is he, will he, can he going to compete again? And the reason why I wanted to include this dancing video of Kai Greene is because it appears to be a very recent video. In Kai's caption, he says this was taken after watching the Super Bowl halftime performance or inspired by the Super Bowl halftime performance. So if that's true, we would assume that this was taken recently in 2020. So if you look at this video, you can get a really good glimpse of how Kai's physique is looking if this is in fact a recent video. And Kai looks good. He looks to be in shape. But Kai always looks good. Kai always looks in shape. And I was reading some of the comments of people criticizing different aspects of his physique. I saw some people saying he looks to be downsized in this video. He looks like his back has lost some size, is what some people were saying. So I wanted to share this video with you guys to get your guys' opinion in the comment section below about Kai Greene's current physique. How do you think he's looking? Do you think he looks like he can compete anytime soon? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below about the prospect of Kai Greene competing based on this recent video of his physique, if it is in fact a recent video. Now, that of course brings me to the final topic of today's video, the reason why I'm sure a lot of you guys clicked this video. Now, I've been getting hundreds of DMs and emails about this whole Calum Von Moger situation. So Calum Von Moger and Kenny KO, Kenny KO's latest target in his latest video. Kenny KO, quote unquote, exposes Calum Von Moger. And a lot of people wanted me to talk about this story. So this isn't a story that I consider news, but I wanted to kind of play devil's advocate here and maybe even defend Calum a little bit. Now, I don't know Calum. I've never met him. I don't know anything about him. I'm not necessarily a fan of Calum. But I'll give you guys a brief rundown of this situation and why I think it's not actual news. So essentially, Kenny posted a video interviewing an alleged ex-girlfriend of Calum Von Moger, and essentially the claim of this entire video. They're talking about their relationship and stuff like that, but the main claim of this entire video is that Calum got this girl pregnant and then wants nothing to do with the kid. Now, the first thing I wanted to point out here, because I actually went and watched this whole video after I was getting all these messages about Calum, so I understood what the situation was. And the video doesn't really even make sense at all, because Kenny even says in the video, the whole reason for the video is because he wants Calum to be involved in the kid's life. And the girl is accusing Calum of not, admitting that it's his kid and not wanting to be in the kid's life. But literally, at the end of the video, the girl says multiple times that Calum is going to sue her for full custody of the child. So it doesn't make any sense. Which is it? Calum doesn't want anything to do with the kid, or he wants the kid all the time? It can't be both. So that's the first reason why I think it's not news. The story doesn't even add up. If the narrative is that Calum is denying this is his child, then saying that Calum is going to sue you for custody of the kid doesn't add up with that story at all. In fact, it cancels out the whole story, and no one's even talking about that. Now, the second point I wanted to get to is, why does it matter? Let's assume worst case scenario. This girl claims to have a pregnancy test proving that Calum is the father. So let's claim worst case scenario. The girl's telling the truth. Calum's the father of the child and wants nothing to do with it. Does that make Calum a bad person? Yes, I think so. Does that make Calum a bad dad? Yes, I think so. But even if that's true, it's not a crime. Sure, it might make him a bad person, but think about it. If the girl has DNA proof that Calum is the father, what is she going to Kenny KO for? She can go to the state, to the government, and get child support from Calum if she has proof he's the father. So even in the worst case scenario for Calum, if he is the father and he's denying it, well, that's terrible, but she can go get child support from him if she has absolute proof. So you've got to ask yourself, why is this girl taking this information to the internet, to Kenny KO, and not just going and getting her child support? If Calum wants nothing to do with her, or nothing to do with the kid either, that's fine. It's not the best personality trait for a man, but it is Calum's choice. But if you have DNA proof, he would still have to pay child support. So I don't see what the point of going to the internet is, other than trying to ruin his character. If she has proof that he's the father, she can make him pay child support. But that's all she can do. I mean, she can't force him to be with her. She can't force him to be in the child's life. And, if he doesn't want to be, maybe that's not the manliest decision, but it still is his choice. I mean, it's not a crime. So what are we really exposing here? Not to mention the fact that we haven't even heard Calum's side of the story. And I don't think he even owes us his side of the story, because how is it any of our place to tell someone else, to tell another man how to be a father? Yeah, I think that's crappy if he is denying the kid and doesn't want to be in the kid's life at all and doesn't want to support the kid. But that doesn't seem to make much sense to me if he is suing her for full custody of the kid. I got to go back to that, because I think that's a big thing here. And that's why I'm not reporting this Calum has a love story angle as news. I'm reporting the situation as news, because I think someone was called out here that maybe didn't deserve to be called out. Maybe someone's personal business was put on blast here that shouldn't have been put on blast. So I definitely want to know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. I know this is going to be a controversial and polarizing topic, which is why I didn't even want to talk about it at all. I do feel kind of strongly about it. I agree with a lot of you guys. I think it's a crappy move to not want to be in your kid's life. I think it's just stupid. But at the end of the day, you really got to ask yourself, who's benefiting from putting this information on blast? Who's benefiting from exposing this about Calum? Is it helping the kid? Is it helping Calum? Is it helping anybody that's watching the video? Or is it only really serving the purpose of helping the girl and Kenny KO? That's my thoughts on the situation. People were begging me to talk about it, so that is how I feel. And I hope you guys can see the rational side of my viewpoint on this. So, as always, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Please subscribe to my channel if you have not subscribed already. And as always, Nick Strength and Power, signing out.